I'm in the office and I'm here a little bit before the contractor comes, but I'll show you guys a quick tour of the office. Coming in, and this is the waiting room. You guys have probably seen this in my Instagram videos. What I love about this waiting area is that there are these huge windows and there's so much greenery outside. So I love the natural light. I love that it's really like, I don't know, just very calming and peaceful. I think this area could be like a little spruced up. You know, it looks kind of like old school, traditional, like an old dentist. I did remodel this area when I first took over. You can see the difference in the ops. Those areas I didn't remodel completely. Like that was kind of the vibe of the office before I took over. This is the vibe of the office when I took over. And I made like this little accent wall. I mean, overall it's a very small space, but we cleaned it up. It's all nice and bright and white. Here are the operatories. So this is the op that I usually work out of. We do have TVs on the ceiling. I hate the floor mostly. I also want more cabinets up here and like for a lot of this stuff to just be cleaned up. And yeah, I can't wait to like just spruce up this room. This is the bathroom, the patient bathroom. I absolutely hate this patient bathroom so much. I'm meeting with somebody who can potentially remodel the office. I met with someone already and I don't know, they were highly recommended by a friend of mine, but the way that they follow up and stuff, I'm not getting a good vibe. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I like when people follow up and do the things that they say that they're gonna do in a timely manner. Like, you know, when you're doing construction and stuff, you actually need somebody who has good communication, because construction can get very, very hectic. So I'm meeting with this person. I found them through Instagram, and I like that they have an Instagram presence. And is that the most important thing? No, but it tells me that they do want to like, or it tells me that they understand what people are looking for in a digital space. It's not just the way people feel in the office, it's also about the way the office projects through pixels. So.
An update about my remodel. So I have two contenders right now of who I want to go with. One's actually a design firm. The guy is not a contractor, but he helps with the design process. So what he will do, for example, is we'll go over like on my Pinterest boards or like what I want to do, and he will actually decide on a few selections of floors or like wall colors, you know, and then he'll present those to me, and then it just makes my life much easier because I don't have to go to, you know, this place in Anaheim and pick out everything myself. So having a designer, it costs probably an extra $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, something like that. Not including the contractor, but I think what they do is they communicate with the contractor to make sure that their design comes to life. So it's an extra person on your team. Now what I'm trying to decide monetarily is if that extra convenience is worth it. Every time I've done remodeling in the past, I've just gone and chosen the finishes, and then I tell the contractor this is what I want, and then they do it.
It's July 27th. Kind of like emailed the contractor again because he was working on a quote for me, and then he got back to me and was like, you know, I tried to get you a quote, but the subcontractors want a kind of like a design, like more specified design or something like that, and a floor plan and things like that. So he actually thinks I need to get a designer first. So that whole debate, designer or contractor, he wants me to get a designer first. And weirdly, the designer that he recommended was the guy that I was gonna go with. The one that I already met with. And I was totally going to go with him. And I totally still might. I like his personality, and everything. One of my friends told me about her designer for her office, and this designer is not dental specific. And I thought that is very interesting to me. You know, I don't want my dental office to look like a dental office. That's sort of the vibe I'm going for. Oh, I don't want it to look like sterile and whatever. I want it to look like a boutique practice. I feel like sometimes if you go with dental people, you end up with a dental office. I do think that there's an aspect of it where it is really important to go with someone dental. Like, I'm doing my operatories, and so I do want somebody who's really familiar with the dental office. Like, if you're doing your waiting room or whatever, you don't really need to go with someone who's dental necessarily, but when you're doing like sterilization areas and operatories, there's a lot of plumbing involved with that. And yeah, there's like plumbing, and the cabinets need to be like designed in a way that facilitates like an easy workflow and things like that. So I was thinking, if I can pair a non-dental designer with the guy who does a lot of dental offices, the contractor, it could be a really cool match. Who knows?
Okay, so I have made my decision on what I'm gonna do. I decided I'm going to get a designer, and the one I went with is the non-dental one. She usually does like spas and hair salons, and those places, like, they need to look really good for their clientele. And she also, yeah, she has like a lot of cool projects, and I feel like just by looking at her body of work, the aesthetic is like on point for what I want to accomplish in my head. She's even more expensive than the other guy, but I feel like we had a connection, and I feel like she could totally like transform my space, and it would just be like so cool. So yeah, I asked Byron, I was like, what should I do? And he's like, you're gonna spend money on this thing anyway, make sure you love it. And he's like, just go with the person that you feel like you want to go with. Like, don't think about it so hard, just do the person you want to go with. So far they measured out my space, and I just have to wait because they're going to design my office and then let me know when it's done. Okay, I just saw everything. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cute. Okay, so they gave me a few options, and I feel like it all goes together. And they took like my Pinterest board but made it specific for my office. I'm so happy that I chose a designer. Like, I know that it costs more to do that than to do it myself, but after seeing it, I'm like, why wouldn't I go with a designer? Like, the way that they think about things, the way that everything comes together with the furniture and everything, like, it's just so cohesive. Yeah, and if you just go to her space, I mean, it's just so cute. So they go through like an entire presentation, and they show me like, this is what we want to do on this wall, this is what we want to do for this is what we want to do over here, and this is what it looks like as a digital rendering. And I'm like, okay, I love it.
Updates on the remodel. I mean, it's been going so slow. For whatever reason, the dental contractor that I was going to use like cannot understand what the design is. Like, the first page of the design, they picked a few pictures from my Pinterest board, and he was like, what's this? I'm like, have you never watched Project Runway? You don't know what a mood board is? Like, it's a mood board. He was just so confused about all these like simple things. I was, and then so they did provide me with a contractor that they love, so I'm meeting with them today, and hopefully I can get a bid ASAP, because my contractor, the dental one, had been dragging his feet for so long that I am losing time on being able to do this remodel during the Thanksgiving week that we'd be closed anyway. So. So they just left, but that was amazing because we fleshed out all the details and they helped walk him through so that this can actually get done. Like, and he knows all the little details of what I'm wanting, and we kind of like went through and then saw what was in stock and what was not in stock, and then we just like, we did it. So it's happening. I'm so excited. I think it's gonna look so cool after we talked about all this stuff. It's gonna look so cool, Preston! Okay, so me and Preston, we just got back from my office. Well, actually, after we went to the office, we went to the park, we went to Starbucks and got a smoothie from Juice It Up, which he fell on the floor, and now that's why he's like been very upset. But anyways, we're back. We met with the contractor and we went through each room again, and he's kind of like, Joyce, I hope you know this is not like a $20,000 job. Like, this is gonna be like 50,000 at least. So I'm like, okay, so if contracting is 50,000 and all the stuff like the couches and everything is like 20,000, and I have to pay the design fee, this is gonna be like an $80,000 job, maybe? No, right? No, we don't want that. So I just said, please give me the bid, and then I'll go through and then I'll see like what no, right? Then I'll go through and I'll figure out like what are the things that I can live with, or like what are the biggest things in the budget that I want for sure. And then I'll start cutting from there, I think. Yeah, the update. We are doing this freaking construction. It was very touch and go for a little bit. I had a bid from the contractor for like $80,000. This is way over the budget that I thought, and that's just for contracting work. That's not for like the design, for furniture, for all the fixtures and stuff. So what Laura did, Laura's my designer, she's so awesome, and she's so like, honestly, she's so nice. And Sylvia also, I work with on her team, and she's so nice too. Like, just, I've had such a nice experience with both of them. They're just like nice people, and they're very responsive. So anyways, I sent it over to them and I was like, hey, can we adjust this at all so that we can drop the price a little bit even? And she called me and she was like, what would you be comfortable with dropping the price to? And she's like, let me work on it. So she like went out of her way. She kind of like took little elements that would cost more and then kind of imagined it, and then she talked to the contractor like line by line to see if it was something that they could reduce, or if they changed this or that. Like, let's say that I wanted a level 4 wall. It's like the way that the paint is. So like, you know how when you look at your wall, there's like little bumps on the wall and they just paint over it. Most people don't really notice that type of stuff. But like a lot of my walls were supposed to be like level 4, 5 or something like that, where it's super smooth, super smooth. Like, we adjusted certain walls so that not every wall has to be super smooth, but it still gives that like overall look. So she went through and she did that. She talked to the contractor drafted up something new. It's still around like $60,000, but it's like a, you know, $20,000 drop. And she like basically called me. She's like, you know, we went through, we reduced as much as we could, and then she said if it's still too high, then we can go through and start dropping other things, but that may start to impact the actual like design. Yeah, I'm not going with the highest end thing that they had originally designed me, even though it was beautiful. I still think that this is going to be beautiful, but a little bit more within the budget. And overall, I'm still spending quite a lot more than I thought, but like, I really think that this is gonna look really cool. So I called the contractor today. I told him it's a go, let's do this. Like, I asked him a few questions like, are you including this? This is included, right? Like, just to make sure that the bid is accurate enough so we can stay within the budget. And then we gave him the green light. He's gonna have the cabinet people come and start measuring. We have to still do that. I called the Benco people to give me a quote so that they can remove the chairs off the grounds. Like, this is a go. So this is super exciting, and I can't wait. So I'll vlog the rest of that like another video, but like, even just to get to this point of getting the contractors and we're doing this and we designed it, it took months. And it sucks that that one guy wasted my time so much. He wasted my time, but I'm happy with the people that I have. It's like all, I just know in my heart, it's all gonna work out. It's gonna be stressful. Like I'm not sleeping very well at nighttime, to be honest, but it's gonna be worth it. And I cannot wait to see the final result. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Bye.